Welcome back to the NALCS Countdown. Just over 16:30 to Game 1. Voting kicks off Tuesday for the end of the Split Awards, MVP, Coach, Rookie of the Split, but we couldn't wait to start sharing the love. So we got a few leaderboards that we're going to check in with. Kills, most deaths, assists. These ones more statistically based, but just seeing who's top in the league in each of these categories. Starting with kills. Cody's son.
80 carry world, man. Cody's son back up there. He got funneled early on in the split. He passed his teammates someday.
Somehow. Doublelift's up there. Wild Turtle also on there, but of course, Power Reveal being the only mid laner on there, surprisingly.
Yeah.
When mid laners
But
often
an
get a ton.
8-kill lead going into the last day of the regular split
to
suggests that he will probably remain in that position unless something crazy happens in
Same
that
with Afro Moo.
TLTSM game. Afro Moo, 140 assists to lead, so 100 Thieves, man.
Hey, Santorin, the only non-support in the assist leader category, is actually pretty impressive to me. Just being how much of a factor he is in his team and getting involved and finding those kills.
Yeah, very much so. He typically playing those kind of tank champions and whatnot, so maybe not as much opportunity to pick up kills like, say,
that one Kha'Zix game, but then otherwise than that, yeah.
100 Thieves has the most kills of teams in the NALCS, so it's
Longest
no surprise.
games.
So they have the most kills, but yeah, I was going to say, but
games.
where does their combined kills per minute rank?
It's like middle of the pack, actually.
Okay,
It's
so
not as
it
slow
just
as you'd
kinda
think.
But you
makes
play
sense.
20 extra minutes.
Yep,
you know.
that's how it
clutch-
happens.
Also got the deaths leaderboard.
Death leader, contract.
The oopsies.
But then you got two people on Echo Fox taking up
I know.
spots number 2 and 3. Hooney and Dardoch, that top side of the map that we always talk about, crucial to Echo Fox's performance.
Yeah, I mean, Dardoch
Even
died
struggling.
And they're
20,
still
20 times in the last 4 games.
And
or
oh my
something.
God.
Yeah.
And this is one of the teams that is still not locked in for playoffs. So again, we're going to put a spotlight particularly on those guys when it comes to their final game of the regular split here and their attempt to slide into that, 5th, 6th place spot.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they can curb that a little bit. We look at them as the best players in Echo Fox when they're second and third in the league of deaths together.
Yeah, it's literally the bottom 3 teams for players, and then randomly the 5th, 6th place team has 2 of them on there.
Yeah, but it does speak to their play style.
Absolutely.
Next up, though, we wanted to hit some superlatives. So, first up, we're talking about the best coach's handshake. And this goes to a late entry. Zabutin in yesterday's 2v1 handshake versus TSM. We're a little bit of a bait, actually.
Oh, this one
what
is
happens here.
See, look,
Parth on stage.
It was
Zabutin's
Parth's
like,
first time on stage, and Parth had to point over his shoulder to Song, and then Song is just leaving him hanging.
Yep.
I do like how he waited.
It is. That was very kind, very
was
respectful.
Just 5 seconds.
But it is one of those situations. It was just mistimed, and then you kind of left hanging. What do I do with my hands?
Well, you just see Parth
situation.
sneak out past him so much earlier, too. That's
Right.
just like, where's the other
It
guy?
almost looked rude, but it wasn't. Honorable mention goes to Prolly for the first 1v2 handshake of the split. This one.
And this was tough just because this was the first with the assistant/strategic coaches on stage. He doesn't know who he's supposed to
Oh my
shake hands
goodness.
with.
I think they
What do
told
I-
him to
what do I
only shake
do?
with the head coach.
Yep.
Yeah, well, there was
Like the assistant coaches shake with each other and the head coaches shake with each other.
Right, that would be-
But what if there's a mismatch?
That's the thing. I don't know. How do you handle the 2v1?
it was just
It's not easy.
no metagame established yet. You see what happens.
Exactly. This will be continuing to evolve, Med. And next up, most on again, off again relationship within the league. I think most people are going to go immediately and look at Team Liquid.
Yeah, they're going to say, they're going to talk about Double Chinole again. No, it's Reaper and the C9 fans.
The C9
Because
fan base.
If you went
some
on the
real
Reddit.
hate and some real love going back and forth between these two guys,
Right?
depending on the time of the month. Like,
Yeah.
Worst decisions ever made by an org.
Were they
The
2 and
roster
6, or are they
swaps.
actually 10 and 8?
Yeah, or even then, when they swapped out Jensen and Blabber again, someone on the desk.
I
They're
remember.
throwing
Yeah,
quite a
even
bit of
you had
shade
some
at
hate
Reaper as
just,
well.
just
For that
last
move,
week,
it's
for that
nice
move.
off again, on again.
Exactly. So C9 fans.
Are you
and
on?
chat.
Right now, I'm on again.
Okay. Yeah, okay, on again.
Yeah.
So everyone's on again when it comes to that relationship. Next up, most beard.
This is such a weird title for one, not best, just most.
Most beard.
Zazel, look at that.
So much beard.
That was an actual shot from broadcast.
Yep.
Just like, I think this next pick really needs to see the beard.
It's just, is it also the best beard? There's not that much
I
facial
think
hair
it
in the
also
league.
is the best beard
is.
in the NALCS.
It's most and best.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it probably
Because sometimes you can have too much, and
I
then
feel
it's
like
just
over
not.
in the EULCS, they got a couple well-groomed beards.
Zuki has a...
Yeah, they got a couple good ones, but nothing tops that Zeus-like beard coming out of Zazel. Next up, best whoops, and we're awarding this one to Rainover if you cast your mind all the way back to Week 1 TSM versus CLG.
But it's not just on Rainover. This whole play, week 1.
it's a bit of an oopsie.
Yeah, Rainover sees the Aatrox Q coming in, knows the right thing to do, just not quite using it in the right direction. And Bjergsen's like, clean up kill. Ooh,
Got him.
doesn't quite land the flash ult, and then there's the, we can go back in now that we can punish them.
What I like about this is that Rainover still gets the first blood, like amongst all this. Just up CLG.
Yeah, that set the stage for the kind of
back.
split that these two teams were going to have. Week 1
Yeah.
really looking great.
The classic rivalry.
Yeah. El Clasico.
Decided by Fiesta at level 3. Anyway, as we continue to take stock of the summer split, we asked you to share your biggest surprises with us on Twitter. So we're going to take a look at a few of those now. First up, Jin Yun wrote, C9's rebound has been pretty incredible. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, I think this is one of the biggest turnarounds we could have expected. I mean, there was a ton of roster swaps going on, but with just how demoralized the fan base was, kind of how it seemed the players were as well, that even if the starters did come back in, they would be so upset about coming in down so many games that this wasn't going to happen, but they turned it around.
Last place in the league after 4 weeks. Basically halfway through the split.
Not anymore.
To then
All the way
almost
up to
running the
second.
table and maybe being second.
It's absolute insanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be 7-1 on the back half of the split, possibly going to 8-1 after today. Next up, Often Lulz said the incredible NA talent shown this split, i.e. Demonte, Blabber, Zazel, etc.
Yeah, Dokla's on that list too. All these guys have been stepping up. You see, he was getting his come up a little bit before. Demonte had some games last split. People started getting hyped, but a lot of these other guys have been brewing in the Academy and Challenger series for quite a while, or the scouting grounds, and it's amazing to see them finally get not only showing up in the LCS, but performing super well.
Even had Wiggly popping off yesterday for CLG. I mean, I love to see these Academy players stepping up to the plate here on the LCS stage.
Yeah, I want to see more of it as well because there is definitely a fear within, I think, some of the orgs that, oh, there's just not talent coming up or there's nothing we can do. So the only way they look to improve their roster is to like trade for another player
move
or
players
go to
around
Europe or go to
from-
Korea.
yeah.
But there's some very successful teams with NA players that haven't had their LCS opportunity yet.
Foster that talent. For now, though, let's tune into this week's Mic Check that harkens back to simpler times of Week 8.
The
anytime.
ocean, no place for a squirrel.
What do the assistant coaches do if there's 2 on each side? Do they shake hands?
I practiced on Macaulay yesterday just in case the moment comes up.
Macaulay support?
Ready? No, I'm AD in that case.
Oh.
What do I get to play?
You don't get to play.
You should have practiced. I figured we were all practicing.
Who decided that they can't shake hands? That they're just not people? I don't get it.
D-Blade?
I'm fighting for secondary coaches' rights here.
Man, I'm sorry for the referee. Listen to all of this, you know?
I'm first in the lobby, I'm smurfing.
I hit first bomb. There's a high chance we win this game.
Nice!
Speeding us, speeding us.
Nice. Defend the base. Zillion back, Zillion back. Zillion back, now.
No, watch,
You win that, you win that.
She is on you,
Kill that guy. Keep fighting. Keep going.
Nice. I'm coming to the base. I'm coming to the base.
Yeah.
Yeah! Oh, baby! I don't know. Will you be talking like that in game?
Yeah, I will be.
Okay.
Level of maturity is at all-time high right now.
Just like scrims. Just like scrims.
Get the flash in.
Oh,
Guys, slide. Kill Kindred.
He's dead.
Finish. 50. I got that. Get Zoe. I'm going to Zoe. I'm gonna make a dance into aim from Where's the town? He went out!
Carol, you're such a troll, man.
Yeah, this is one of business friends.
Okay, took a
Your paltry knowledge of SpongeBob, you
can't relate.
disappointing me and actually tilting me.
Ezra.
I got Trundle as well.
Yeah, good channel. Nice.
Nice, good job, Ezra. That was a fiesta.
But I kind of want. Never mind.
KDA?
No, I don't deserve KDA.
I don't think so.
No, we don't need it unless you want to assist.
No.
We're taking
tower.
a turret.
Yeah, just go
Base bomb me. Base bomb me, brother.
You go on Varus if you can.
One shot.
Braum slowed.
I'm staying on Kindred. Kick him out.
Go Baron.
Yes!
Nice shot, Baron.
That's what I'm talking about, bro.
Fist bumps.
Just over 7 minutes left before Game 1. It's time to see where you both stand in your predictions for the day.
Yeah, we are tied going into the final day.
We established that yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah.
That you're very much tied.
And what's interesting is the Counterlogic Gaming versus Golden Guardians game, I feel like it was impossible to predict.
What?
I had to turn to a more knowledgeable predictor than I. Kubo.
Kubo, I have a problem. Both Golden Guardians and CLG have lost 8 of their last 9 games. But CLG won yesterday. So I can't, I don't know how to pick it. I get it wrong every time. Which one would you take? Take it.
was harsh. He was so close to picking CLG.
Yeah.
So close.
I thought I accidentally said taking it like a time that was going to influence his decision.
Right.
But he makes up his own mind.
That's impressive.
So you're not going to cop out if CLG wins and be like, oh, well, my dog picked wrong.
No,
right?
better
and
not.
I know.
So how do you
the
guys
best way to predict this game?
How do you feel knowing that, as it stands through the regularly scheduled games, CLG Golden Guardians is going to decide which one of you is the better
most
predictor?
irrelevant match
I think
of the year.
Fitting
for the
I
summer
think it's
split.
very fitting for the way this split has gone. Where
But otherwise,
I'm also wondering how tiebreakers factor in because we're guaranteed a tiebreaker game, and we
we
might
are
be
guaranteed
different
at
on
least
that.
one
It
up
counts.
to
It
4.
counts. So this
those
might not be
count.
the decider.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get to those when we get to those.
All right.
Interestingly enough, you guys essentially chose the favorites in all matchups across
Well,
the
this
board.
was sticking with our foldy sheet lines.
Right. Oh, that's true, because you both had predicted
I'm still
your
on scenario
final scenarios.
252 from yesterday.
That's
so
right.
I'm
Yours
on a
is
roll.
still in. Mark's already out when it comes to that. Maybe that is worth a point at the end of it all.
No. No.
That's like,
Let's get to the next
I like
segment.
those
Read the
rules.
prompter, James.
All right, well, we talked all about the pressure on these teams, so we did want to lighten up the mood a little bit with some fun, wholesome, completely answerable Jet stats. And unfortunately, the singers are still on strike, as they were just last week, so we don't have a jingle for today. Yeah, right? We can still...
Okay.
I have no musical talent.
Jet stats.
Yeah, we have lights and balloons, but we're actually already the telestrator. So the first question, mid lane is something we actually haven't talked about too much because it's been about 80 carries, it's about funnel. But which mid laner has the most solo kills this split?
Completely unassisted.
So a solo kill is an unassisted.
Kill. So I actually, funnily enough, even though Jensen has not played the most
So,
games, I think he's in the running.
It popped into my mind, but so much of those are 2v2 plays and things like that, where like it's the Zillion and the Kindred and stuff
This is through all times in the game. It's not isolated to like 15 minutes.
Yeah,
for
this
lane
is summer
phase.
split solo kills.
See, that's why I think there is a
like some
possibility
days
that it's
10 solo kills in
Jensen.
top lane.
There's also a possibility, like, who splits a lot from the mid lane?
That's what I was thinking. I'm not quite sure
So
anyone
then you're
does that
looking
much.
at somebody like, I mean, like maybe Ryu sometimes.
yeah, but he doesn't get
in a
solo
split, but he's not getting any
kills.
solo kills.
I mean, he does play a lot of Zoe actually, so I'm gonna say Ryu. Actually, I'm gonna go with Ryu.
You're too confident on that.
After Zoe gets solo kills in the sense where people just die.
So wait, the rule is if
Him
he
with
does
that,
it, I gotta go with it, right? Because otherwise,
doesn't
every
matter.
time I
I
don't
mean,
agree
do
with
whatever
him,
you
I
want.
get it wrong.
There's also
when you agree with him, it's wrong. When you disagree with him,
I'm gonna
it's
No
take,
matter what
I'm
you're
gonna
wrong
take,
is
I'm
the
gonna
problem.
take. I'm gonna go with Jensen because I think it's like kind of way out there and actually possible.
Ryu is second, actually.
Oh!
But everyone talks about how he's a passive, farm for late mid laner. It's Bjergsen.
What?
With the
Yeah, there you
7
go.
solo kills. Let's
That's
go.
insane.
Yeah.
All
More
right,
mid
buddy.
lane questions.
All right. Mid lane.
Who has the lowest mid jungle proximity? As in, whose jungler is there?
TSM.
least? Is that your final answer?
Well, I feel like if you got a lot of solo kills,
You were really
right,
confident.
Then, I know I'm not that confident, but it was just it was keying off the first question. If he has a lot of solo kills, means no one's there to help him, so maybe his
and
jungler's
it's
not around.
team
much.
jungle proximity as well, right? So it's like for mid lane. So like it doesn't matter if there's been different mid laners in there for different teams.
Ah,
right?
oh,
So it's
okay,
like in all 17 games.
Well, it's definitely not C9 because they do go mid a decent amount. Who just leaves? Would it be CLG? Is like who?
I was
who
thinking
he's
maybe
kind of
like
always on an island.
Rainover does
been
gank
there a
the
few
lanes more,
times.
but who he roams a lot too. I don't think it's Golden Guardians. I don't think it's OpTic. It could be Clutch. I feel like I never see Lyra and Febby doing the same thing.
I like that answer actually.
You guys are way off.
You're gonna give us that right now?
Give me that hint.
All right, so
none of
not
the things we
Febby.
said.
Well, no, I was saying it's none of those. I was saying none of those sound
Great.
right.
Okay, that's
Febby,
fine.
right?
That's fine. That's
But
correct.
not Febby.
All right, I give you 15 seconds to answer that.
All right, so it's not Febby. CLG is still. Well, you're saying that one was off too.
Who are we missing? Echo
All right,
Fox, Demonte.
TSM,
Did they ever go mid?
Ryu,
go mid
Demonte. You
traditionally.
might be right. You want to do Demonte? I'll do Ryu.
I'll go.
again.
I'll go Echo
I'll go
Fox.
Ryu again.
C9, if you can believe it.
What?
Yeah, it's totally doesn't make sense with what you're thinking. Because
I don't believe that.
They just have the most efficient
Double
ganks
check
mid.
it.
Because jungle proximity is just about time spent jungler close to mid laner.
I know
C9's
it's.
not that
I
close.
saw producer Joe Meyer said it's confirmed. I know it's confirmed, but I'm just still baffled by.
All right.
I mean, it's all split launch.
I
so
wouldn't put it past Jap to start making stats.
the first half of the split with the golden glue and stuff like that, like they're playing around licorice a lot more.
All right. This is a little bit. I saw what Kobe did. He did like a non-league related question. I've been carrying something along in my jacket pocket the whole day. What is that thing?
So this is not statistical at all. I just like
what
to
would
point
be
that
in my
out.
jacket
But,
pocket?
okay, so I mean, the obvious
he's a
things-
nerd, so some kind of like
pocket protector.
no,
no, it'd be. Let's see. It'd have to be a phone, keys.
Phone keys, calculator, notes.
All right, 5 seconds.
Some
You got-
kind, or like
5
quick
seconds
notes,
to
quick
put it in
wing
the sentence.
conditions, quick notes.
Yeah,
I don't know. I
for it.
feel like
Just what?
I feel like
Monocle.
I feel like Jat's
You have a monocle.
a phone in jacket pocket kind of guy. I think that's what it is.
Okay.
Phone in jacket pocket.
It's a ring. I have a ring in my pocket. My precious ring.
All right, it's not over us. Thank you very much, Dash, and hopefully we get chat back at some point before we jump into our match. That was a terrifying Deficio, Roman.
He's never looked better, actually. He's got some of the best faces. So, anyway.
Oh, my word. So how do you even come out after that? What do we do?
I don't
You have a ring?
No, no.
You have something in your pocket?
I don't.
All right,
It's
so
pot.
we'll have to see what these guys have up their sleeves. We are 47 seconds away from that champion select for 100 Thieves versus OpTic. As I'd like to thank everybody for hanging out here in the LCS studios today here in Los Angeles. A beautiful day outside as we saw everybody cheering and everybody at home ready to see their teams. Their teams they have been behind all season make those final steps here in the last week of the LCS. OpTic have a handle on the first part of their road to victory, but they kind of have to worry about what other teams are doing today. Here, they can focus on the win, though.
Exactly. 10 wins has been the magic number to get you into playoffs.
Yeah.
Today, it may be 9 wins. It depends, because OpTic, they can only reach 9. But then it's Echo Fox and TSM, who both have 9 wins already.
Yeah.
If either of those teams lose and OpTic wins this, OpTic has a chance to make playoffs still, but they have to take care of business here. And then they have to kind of rely on the other teams to lose. But 100 Thieves don't want that to happen. This team that made the finals in spring wants to have a first round bye, and they can fight for it here with a victory and then play the winner of FlyQuest versus C9 later.
All right, the time cards have been punched, and we are at work currently with 100 Thieves and OpTic Gaming now in Champion Select. Morgana Akali as the focused hits come out for those bands. We'll see what OpTic has for their first phase.
And something that I want to point out here is that teams get side selections since they play each other twice during the season.
Yep.
One team gets it in one of them, the other team gets it in the other. This one was OpTic side selection, and OpTic actually chose to go red side, even though blue side has been heavily favored, and 100 Thieves have a 7-1 record on blue side. Their first loss on blue side was yesterday versus C9, but OpTic, it seems like they're going to value things like counter pick for Dokla in a split push lane, and also potentially counter pick for Power of Evil and try to double counter.
They see that blue side. Like, attack! We will find it now. Aatrox and Nocturne very fast. The Zillion is hovered. Varus is still up. A lot of things actually still up here that could be locked in, and they decide to go for the support on the side of 100 Thieves to see what OpTic answers with.
Yeah, it's interesting because Tom Kench is still available, so there's still these power pick supports. But in terms of junglers, junglers has actually been pinched from the Kindred and the Nocturne, both on that side. You could pick up something that's pretty high priority if you wanted to. Neutral pick like Trundle, Graves that counters it, and that's more Acadian style, I would say. If they want to have the pressure, they would go with it, but looks like they might just lock in the bottom lane here. Arrow with the Ashe. And there's the TK like we mentioned.
Feeling good on that Draven, picking it back and forth for a week or so. Back to the Ashe for him so he can get the initiation in, but a little bit of map movement as well. I think we've seen these Tom Kenches become a bit more versatile in their engages and the willingness for people to go forward with that Abyssal Voyage. We'll see if OpTic does as well.
Yeah.
A little more poppy play in the LCS across the board and across the pond that we have seen lately. As it gets hovered, it gets switched, and Jin is locked in for Cody's son, as we're keeping things matched up here in the first phase so far.
I'm trying to think when's the last time Cody's son played Jin. I'm actually looking across.
Keep going back.
It's his first time this split that he has played Jin. He's played the Kaisa, Xayah, he's gone to the Varus, the Lucian, pretty much all over the board. He has not played a single Jin game this split, which that's why it jumped out to me, is because Cody's son doesn't strike me as a Jin type player when I think about him. It's the late game crit 80 carries that make sure that they can carry and have that large damage per minute in late game.
And they even get Graves too. They're doing the reload comp here. Hopefully both guys aren't reloading at the time they need that damage during a fight. Could come up in a big predicament. Power of Evil now to lock in here. A final first phase pick for OpTic Gaming. 10-7, 100 Thieves. OpTic 8-9. And a 9-9 possible pick as they lock in Camille.
All right, so they
Good aggression.
Pick the Camille here. You potentially ban out counters to the Camille or priority mid laners. I think what OpTic will do is they'll pick their jungler and then they'll pick their mid laner last, but the Camille is also flexible. It can go to the jungle for Acadian if something gets really bad in Champion Select, but I don't think it will. I think it will be for Dokla and allow him to split push, but they banned the GP that he played Camille into yesterday and couldn't really get any pressure over Hanser. So we'll see what they do here. I think 100 Thieves, you start banning out the jungle position because it's already got 3 champions taken away from it. And there's the Gragas, the 4th one you take away. Potentially Trundle, I think, is another one. And push Acadian onto something like Sejuani, which isn't exactly like the best at the moment.
Kindred Gragas there.
Yeah,
I actually see the Aatrox in there once. He's still banned, and the Nocturne. So yeah, pinching that even more would be nice. One final one from 100 Thieves in 10 seconds. Is it going to be the Trundle?
I think it would be the Trundle. That's my expectation here, is that you take away the Trundle and you force Acadian to go on something else, but
feels like the jungle matchup is considerable, and what I'll get, I'm okay with Acadian getting. So they say, let's hit Power People.
Yeah, it's because the fact that the Graves is a really good pick into the Trundle, so you wouldn't mind a Trundle. So I guess it's not worth the ban in their minds, but we might see something new here from Acadian if it isn't that. And Sejuani, there it is. That champion is a little bit better into the Graves. This is his second Sejuani game this split. The other one he went 0-3 and 0 on. So it was not a great performance from him up against Team Liquid. In fact, it was actually abysmal. But we'll see if he's able to get the engages today, because there are squishy champions on the other side. And that's where Sejuani pretty much thrives. If you can get through the early part of the game, get to the point where you can start throwing out the ultimates to just make engages happen. You see Ryu's already got the cleanse going, because it's going to be a Sejuani cleanse tax on the mid lane is what typically happens.
Never fun, but something you always have to consider. He also has a little point-and-click lockdown if Dokla gets too crazy with Camille in these fights. But he might be going up against Sunday's Jax in the top lane. We are going to get one hell of a fight out of those two. We've seen Dokla kind of coming up in his own this split for OpTic Gaming as being a little bit more aggressive, a lane they can look to for an advantage. And now he's going to test that against Sunday's Jax. Final pick here for OpTic as we finish up picks and bans.
And I am really excited to see this Jax, because Dokla, he's been able to kind of split push as much as he wants. He's been able to split push in all the matchups that he usually gets, except for like the GP. And so now Someday is saying, I'm going to match your split push. This matchup for Camille is actually very rough, especially in the early parts. Camille is not a lane bully, and Jax isn't supposed to be either, but he does win this matchup with his Counter-Strike. But there is outplay potential with the Camille, and so this bit, it gets very intricate, and it basically becomes who starts using their E first, who's calling the bluff on their abilities, and it really becomes a mind game halfway through the game. So I'm watching this one in particular, because the Trinity 4 split pushers, who can get the advantage? But I give 100 Thieves a little bit of an edge in the 2-on-2, because the Graves is a much better skirmisher than the Sejuani at the beginning.
Very, very strong. I'm going to see a lot of aggression out of both teams, I'm hoping, here as we start off our second day here in Week 9. As the players leave just about everything they have on the Rift. OpTic still looking to move forward a bit and keep that playoff position and hopes alive as the coaches shake and make their way to the backstage after giving the last bits of information to their team to use on the Rift. With that Jax play, looking back to Week 3 against Clutch, 12-0-3 from Someday on that pick. If he can put out that kind of performance today, I believe we might have a very quick game on the Rift.
Yeah, and if Someday's able to put on the carry pants, show that he's still in the running for the MVP for regular season, because he's up there at the top 2. There are some people that are competing for it right now. And PoE is also somebody that's been on tip of people's tongues.
Yeah, a twister to say.
Yeah. It was interesting, though, because this match means a lot. 100 Thieves could look at a first-round bye going into playoffs. That gets them straight to Oakland if they're able to win this one and then win the following tiebreaker that they'll have later in the day off of that. And OpTic, they could just be in playoffs off a win here and then a loss from Echo Fox or TSM.
And we are going to hear now from Zabutein to see how they feel going into this game.
Thanks, guys. This is clearly an incredibly important game for OpTic. So what's the team like coming into this game?
I think yesterday we were a little bit stressed. You know, it was a do-or-die match. Losing it makes us like we don't have control on our fate. So I think the players are much more relaxed because they know that they have to win this game no matter what. But it's already not on us. So I think they're going to play relaxed, and it should be the deciding factor for us.
And we already have action happening, so we're going to head back to the casters.
Thank you, Abali. Yeah, Power People down to about 100 HP. As they walk on, Zabutin saying they feel good coming in. They might feel bad coming out of a first level fight in First Blood onto Power of Evil for 100 Thieves.
And that was all over the place there. Even just kind of the wraparound that happened. They're saying, how did he even get in that position where you have Someday behind him? We even saw Cody-san coming in from the side. That was a fight where when we look at that again, it's really kind of the setup beforehand. Where are the wards and why are they allowing this to happen? And it looked like they had just said there aren't going to be that many people in the jungle that early. And they're already going for an invade here to just put the Sejuani that far behind.
Well, Power of Evil's flash is there. Anda comes up with that kill on the Graves and 3 assists all the way to the bot side. Ryu, Cody-san, and Afromu. Not really able to spend this to start things off. We'll see how they use the level advantages they should be getting in lane, though.
Yeah, and that's Afromu TP to the bottom side using Summoner's Spellbook as well. And something that he'll be able to swap the TP out for heal, exhaust, stuff like that later for the lane phase. Let's see this one more time. Yeah, look at the top side of this where they push Dokla out. So Cody-san and Someday pushed Dokla out. I don't think they expected Cody-san to be there. I don't know if they saw him, but it looked like Someday and the duel that was happening. And then PoE goes, oh, Cody-san is here. And then it flashes towards Afromu, where if he had flashed up and to the right, that may have been a better flash. But in that moment, when you are panicking and trying to get away from the Jhin, you're not thinking completely straight about which way you're going to go. You can see it in retrospect, but that is just a lot of pressure from unexpected angles. Fog of War. Incredibly powerful.
In those tense moments, there's a lot of chatter. You can see Afromu slowly pulling off, allowing kills to happen. Seemed very calm, cool, and collected there for 100 Thieves. Someday stacking up quite a wave here. He can push into the turret. Give Dokla a little trouble so he can back. And it looks like we're off and running here for this game with 100 Thieves on a slight lead. Yeah, right? I would miss that.
Yeah,
but somehow the pros are like, oh, nothing will hit it. That'll stay at 1 health forever.
The cannon minion ran away from him. That was like, no, Someday. If he had missed that, I wouldn't have blamed him at all. That cannon minion was just, I did not like him.
It's all right.
But he still got it anyway. Something else that I wanted to mention was when Zoe got locked in, there was like an audible kind of no from the crowd. But I looked down and I'm like, this is actually the first time Power of Evil has played Zoe all split.
It doesn't matter. Now he's in that boat.
But I'm like, everybody gets at least one, man. You get the one where you're like, I'll try this champion. You know? This is his first time. The guy's giving you the
condemn him.
He's giving you like the Kaisa mix. He's gone the Ahri, the Talon. Maybe because Victor's his most played this split with 3.
Yeah.
Like the guy is pulling out unique stuff. As soon as he conforms, it's like you turn on him real quick. Why does he do this? He should get one though. I'm just saying.
So they look to repair a little bit of that early game deficit through the top side. Acadian sneaks into the brush, also with a push that Anda had. I'm sorry, that Someday had. Anda could be around this.
Yeah,
looks like they're gonna keep it calm though.
You got to be ultra patient here though, because Someday's gonna take his sweet time last game. And as a jungler, you need to keep your pace up. Yeah, his back. He gets the blue smite. Doesn't want to waste any time there. Anda's gonna back. Grab himself off the first blood, and the fact that he has 34 CS and got a large amount of jungle. You can see right there immediately. That's where you have just too much gold. You go for the long swords, you go for 2 control wards so he can stay out on the map and just replace one later. So this is for absolute vision control. I think he's gonna go, I would potentially say towards the top side of the map here, towards the Jax and the Camille to make sure that he can protect his split pusher.
Yeah. Especially for this time, it looks like since Someday is piling that wave up, it'll take him a little bit longer to get over, allow OpTic to set something up themselves.
Take away the Raptors.
Always. Get his tendies. Delicious. Grab him right up. Such a push in as well from Ryu. He's not letting Power of Evil have any fun. You gotta think, it's not even been 5 minutes yet. That flash is still on cooldown for Power of Evil.
Yeah, that's kind of the result of the early part of the game. Ryu, though, yeah, just chunking him out. And that's the result of the early part of the game was, sure, there's first blood onto Anda, and he gets the top half of the jungle. That means that your split push, Camille can't play as far up because your jungler has to play to the other side and to get camps. And then your mid lane doesn't have flash, so you're in an even worse spot. And Dokla, being in a bad spot.
There's about 10 caster minions on that right now. They had time to kind of mill about the turret and figure out if they wanted it or not. Good rule of thumb, if it's taken about 5-6 seconds to execute, you might want to leave. Acadian was right on the backside of that fight. Just up on 6 minutes. We see 100 Thieves trying to put a few things on the plate. Nice deadly flourish on the bot side for some crowd control, but nobody really trying to push that early game advantage. Power of Evil also playing
flash down.
safe with that flash down. Now it's up. Oh no! As soon as he gets it, he goes down to Ryu. Acadian just short on the counter engage.
And Ryu got the flash, the EW, the root onto Power of Evil, and there was no way he could really get out of that. So that was really well played there because he flashed and he was still rooted afterwards.
I actually brought that up with Mark as well in Academy on Friday, is how much do you play on the fact that if that person knows their flash is coming up, they're going to start being a little more aggressive as well. When do you take that in consideration? Because he just gets it, and he's not even in a really good spot to gank, but they know they have a chance of it being down right here.
There it is, yeah.
So good.
Has the flash there. Yep. I don't think he really has anything else he could do there. The only thing is maybe he portal jumps for a second over the wall just to live a little longer, but that's it. I don't think it helps him that much. But that's the flash down again, but Ryu's flash is down, and Ryu did pay the cleanse tax. I like that. It really does shut down the Sejuani and make her not want to gank you, and also it's good against the Zoe too. Something that, getting out of a Sleepy Trouble bubble can throw the Zoe off, because sometimes she'll walk up after she lands it, and then you cleanse, you dodge the Q, and you run at her, and she has no abilities. Her E's down, her Q's down, and it's a good way to counter.
Bit of a CS lead there in mid lane, obviously. 60-44 from the top lane, back and forth. Really haven't seen too much intervention from the junglers there either, so some days have a field day to start.
It's not direct intervention, but it's, I would say it's proximity intervention where Anda's controlling the top side. He got the top Raptors, he just took away the top red buff. There's nothing for Acadian to really farm on the top side, and he's in a better spot as the Grave. So he'll win those 2-on-2s. He has more items. The champion's a little more powerful in skirmishes, and so that allows Someday to be more aggressive, and Dokla has to respect it.
Yeah, you have to respect what you can't see. It makes it really difficult. You're hoping that what you can't see isn't going to dive you every moment of the game. Here, Dokla is pushed up. Teleport's there for him, so if anything happens, he can get back in.
Yep.
And
that's another cycle on the jungle, then.
Yep.
Like, that's another Raptor down. Oh. Good from Big to hang around, but there's Aframo and
matching roams.
Yeah, matching the roam, leaving the ADCs by themselves, marksmen by themselves. But that's, this just feels bad. Acadian just now hitting 6, and you can just see the CS difference in the jungle. Actually, is decent. Acadian, he's spotted. That's going to be cleansed, though.
One hit, can't follow up on any permafrost. Aframo and the rest of the team is still there. Just short on the play. Still trying, though. OpTic is looking to get their foot in the door and trying to get a few more kills back on their side of the board. In level 6s for the top side here. A quick hook shot out from Dokla. We'll have to see what this becomes for Dokla. Maybe the teleport to a different lane actually helps him get the kill he needs. A little bit of upper hand or advantage in that lane, because I don't think it's going to happen 1v1 for Someday. But if you do leave Someday alone for a moment, that lane's going to go down fast.
Yeah.
So it's hard to choose.
Yeah, but he did TP back just now, and Someday has teleport, so
good call.
It means Dokla's going to have to find a way to get priority with the Tiamat if he wants. I think try to keep Someday in the lane. Otherwise, if Someday is able to push, not have to use his teleport, and go for a free back and spend his gold, then he's going to put Dokla in a really bad spot where you can't match it without losing CS.
Honda having a fantastic jungle as well, 71-45. And able to kind of track Acadian here, even without the wards being in mid. Wherever Honda is, you can almost assume Acadian's there, trying to counter just that presence.
Yeah, but it's so hard for Acadian to even get farm here. This is a rough situation for a jungler where your top lane is kind of shut off because the enemy jungle has been taking the reds and your top side farm. Your mid laner has blown his flash twice and he's gotten killed twice. And so he doesn't have pressure in that lane at all, and he keeps getting pushed in, so they get free reign of your top half jungle. So 2 of your lanes kind of get sacked, and then the Graves gets to take your farm. So it relies on Arrow and Big kind of winning the 2v2 bottom lane to get something back, and maybe you can play the bottom side, but that's not happening right now.
Yeah.
And it leaves Acadian in an awkward spot where he has to kind of re-gank this because the cleanse is down to potentially make something happen here. But watch Anda. Anda's also kind of on this side.
I think they just saw that ward die where that debris is, so Honda knows.
I think Acadian just went straight in. You just saw him kind of peek his face out.
Oh. So they want to hit him early. He cleanses down. They're going to go for the fight full on. Very tanky. for Ryu, but he goes down as they finally get that damage from Power of Evil. I don't know if this one continues. Alphamu taking an interesting way out, but he uses the W to get the safety, and a bit hesitant there, but OpTic fine to rinse and repeat in mid lane.
Yeah, that was a TP from Afromu to come in and flank, and Acadian had no fear. He's like, I have to gank him now, or I'm never going to gank him again, because if you give Ryu any more time, he's going to have that cleanse back up, which is what he was waiting for.
This could actually start getting pretty good for OpTic. They start getting arrows, enchanted crystals across the map. That cleanse is down, and they can start really punishing Ryu if they want to choose to. Hook shot in onto Sunday. Gets that Hextech ultimatum down. Acadian has no ult, but the Permafrost does lock it. Onda just short. The blast, the jump from the leap strike, as now it's Onda in a 2v1. How much does he want, though? It looks like he's going to back off on this one. Great protection and escape by Someday.
Yeah, Someday playing that perfectly. He gets the double stun and the flashes afterwards. Really well timed on that one. And they're still hanging around here. They're still hanging out.
A bit of a roam, maybe? Just a ward there coming in from Ryu. I thought he might realm warp up and really join the party. It looks like with the power they could put on the turret versus Dokla alone, Acadian will just kind of hover here and play babysitter for the time being. A second wave, and then they should be able to disperse.
Ryu coming on up, has realm warp. Is this another red take?
That could be overall. Knowing that Dokla's a little low and Acadian took a hit there with ult down, they could easily start the pressure in. Dokla wants a hit, knowing under the turret he's gonna draw that aggro. Teleports come in, the 1, the 2, the 3, and he almost gets him, but smited down in the end, or I should say taken down in the end by Onda, and they come up with some more kills there. Sorry, that was Ryu.
Yeah.
Getting all mixed up and who's flying into the fight here.
That's okay.
Yeah,
So
Rep did come in.
So was Dokla. He's like, I got panic.
How do I dodge? How do I do it?
Oh, wait.
Glacial Fissure back. Looks like Big could be on the front to devour, but he needs one more lick on the Aframu. They aren't able to come up with too much there, but good pressure from the top side of the map. Power of Evil isn't letting this one end as they go coast to coast. Almost draws the Paddle Star forward from max range. And they're going to get out of this one. He may want one more shot, but he's just picking up some summoners.
Yep, picking up some summoners, but man, it's just been so close here on both sides. 100 Thieves go to the top side. They play for that turret. They get it, and they set up Sunday. And I believe they just got that first turret gold split across multiple people. See if they stick around here. Power of Evil is sticking around.
Oh, not the most mobile marksman.
It's also not the...
Not going to take it, even though they have vision down the lane.
It's not the fastest turret take either.
This is true.
It's very slow. And now Ryu towards the bottom side looking to scuttle.
Mine or yours. You do this, I'll take it.
Oh, just let it run around.
Taunting each other. They don't know. There's so much vision for OpTic on the backside of Dragon. It looks like they still don't want to go too hard here, knowing they're at a deficit. Something silly like Scuttle to lose even more.
Yeah, and
would not
PoE,
be the thing.
PoE had just backed, and he was running down the lane. He had to catch the farm at the turret, so there's no way he was going to be able to help out there. Now, the question is, do they see this? Because the Ashe now up, but they're pretty far away. I don't think they can test. This is free for 100 Thieves.
Drake feels good, especially for Someday. He's loving that on the other side of the map if he gets free time with objectives, or rather turrets. As Dokla starts to push up on this lane. Sheen and Tiamat for himself, and the Phage and Tiamat as they get closer and closer to their core items.
Now, does the swap come out here? Because they took the top turret. The bot lane is doing decently for both sides, and you could swap it and have Someday there, but I feel like you want that bottom tier 1 turret, and having your duo lane there is probably better. Even with Dragon down. Because when there's lopsided or asymmetrical objectives, like the Rift Herald is up, but there's no Dragon that's up. Oh, base check. Oh, he dodged it.
Right down. Here comes Tom Kench's Abyssal Voyage. A lot of damage from Dokla up front. Someday's forced to run. Onda and Ryu are both there. Cleanse comes in. He can't stay in the portal. Did he just get in? Oh, he ate it before he hit the portal. And he's brought back to the void by Acadian. Beautiful job by OpTic.
That was so well played from Dokla, and the fact that Big, that was a heads-up play there to roam. Dokla outplays with the ultimate, dodges the stun, and then Big comes in with the reinforcement.
Huge.
Such a good play there, because they get so much out of it. They get the kills that they need, they get the turret to equalize it, and they do lose their bottom at the same time, but they also make it so that this is a Ryu with no cleanse, a repeatable gank there, and the Rift Herald to boot.
Acting on an instant advantage, OpTic are able to kind of sweep across the map. They really needed that turret as well. Having top drop kind of conversely start to answer things back a little bit.
Look at this mid turret. This mid turret's almost about to go down. So
you have a Rift Herald, so you don't even have to use it, and you can definitely get the bottom.
Yeah, I think what you do is you try to take this without using Rift Herald. Then you'll use Rift Herald later. But watch this. Dodges it perfectly. Gets the stun afterwards. Keeps the Hectic ultimatum. He's got to use that Q to jump away. Good follow-up flash there from Acadian. Throws the Bola over the shoulder, and Big says, no, you're not getting away. It looked like Dokla was committed to that too. Throws down the E. Oh, that was good from Big, because either he takes the portal if he's not stunned, or he's going to flash over the wall, because Ryu still had flash during that time. He just wasn't at a point where you could flash into that kind of that left side wall area.
It'd be great if Big figured out that he is now part of the portal with Rise inside his stomach. Big takes a solo trip. Not this time. The interaction doesn't occur. 2K gold lead for 100 Thieves still with what has been happening. And now OpTic just bit back very hard. They have that Rift Herald on the horizon to really close that gold deficit. Just quick clears in mid lane. OpTic has some good forward wards pushed up onto that blue side, but 100 Thieves is doing most of the work towards bottom now.
Yeah, 100 Thieves need to play towards this mid turret. It's the last of the remaining outers for them, and they also need to protect their bottom and their mid at the same time, which are both very low. This is either you get this turret and you go up 3 turrets to 1, or you end up having all these other turrets go down and it's just equal 3 to 3. So 100 Thieves need to keep the pressure on, keep that vision up, and kind of take care of business here and use that advantage they have in the jungle as well as the mid lane. And Rise, there's the flash that Ryu had held on to.
So close. Arrow, Abyssal Voyage, Sleepy Bubbles.
Yeah,
that's scary.
If he backs, that's the wave clear kind of out of there.
That could be 2. If they actually decide to use Rift Herald here, they'll knock this down and have a good chunk on second tier, but may not be able to secure it with the amount of pressure 100 Thieves has here. Still someday on the bot side, trying to focus as Dokla holds that off, doing some janitorial duty on those minion waves coming in. 1:40 on to Baron. It looks like Arrow's going to be top side for now. Start pushing, things are going to slow down for a moment.
Just for a moment as Dokla has to push out the bottom wave. Sunday's going to get back and Tiamat going. Oh. It's a fake flash, but still. Oh, he picked up the bubble.
Sleepy, but he's good. He wakes up. Turret down, Rift Herald is up, so that means Shelly's going to be looking for a second tier. It may have now been spawned a little early. Big still on the forefront of this, trying to get that room in. And Shelly's short. Just short of the turret. It looks like they'll be able to knock it down before getting anything out of that. Great stop by 100 Thieves.
I like how she keeps getting pushed back by Graves auto. Stop it! Ah, well, it hurts.
The punishing shotgun shots. Now they have the reloaders in mid lane here. Cody Sun and Onda on Jhin. And that Graves. We'll see if they can both keep reloaded in these fights for maximum damage output.
They're up the back.
Just a bit. Baron is up in 30 seconds as everybody comes off of Fountain ASAP with some of their new items here. The rest looks like they're going to stay on the Rift.
I gotta say, PoE's Zoe has been really interesting to watch. His CS is good, but I have not been in love with his Qs or his use of the portal jump. It's been really aggressive. It's almost like, I don't know how quite to describe it. It's kind of a, I wouldn't say he's a master of Zoe, because he's not playing to her ranges. Yeah, okay, I get it. It's the Lich Bane. Okay, this is why. Yeah, I was like, what is he doing? Because like a lot of Zoes will go for the spell penetration builds. You're just making sure that you can kind of deal true damage to people. And he's like, I'm gonna portal jump in and hit you with more sparkles.
Just basically sparkle him.
Because every time you know, your portal jump is not a damaging ability, but if you have Lich Bane, it is, because you get a Lich Bane proc.
Right.
So you portal jump in, you just slam him with a big Lich Bane hit, and then you get to just do your combo from there. So he's not playing to the long range of Zoe, he's playing to the kind of mid-range Zoe, which makes you very catchable, but at the same time, it is a little bit more rewarding in terms of you don't have, like, you can do more damage very quickly without having to rely on the bubble or the Q.
I mean, you also look at the play style and the mind of the player we're talking about. In his style, he always wants to kind of be outside the box. It feels more comfortable to him to do things the other team really isn't expecting, to play it in a different way. And that's Power of Evil for you. And usually he can really do it to a good tune. Here's 2-1-2 and 0. Like you said, still good on that CS. And we haven't seen kind of the real factor of it yet. It'll come soon with that Lich Bane. Exhaust up for him on that Summoner W. Looks like he'll stay safe in mid lane for now. So many wards from OpTic. Definitely a very big plus for them in this game to just keep eyes on 100 Thieves.
OpTic, they just need to claim that bottom turret. They've evened up the turrets. That mid turret hasn't gone down yet. And 100 Thieves, if they want that first round bye, they have to win this. If they lose this, they can't get a first round bye because the other two teams that are tied at 10 wins are Cloud9 and FlyQuest, who play each other. So one of them has to move to 11 wins. So in order to contest it, 100 Thieves have to win this and then win the tiebreaker against them later. And OpTic, they still want playoffs.
Summoner Spellbook to the cleanse, so Alphamu doesn't become a problem for the team.
That's
going to be on front.
It's a QSS.
Oh, you're right, he does, but he also has... Good call, though. Good eye.
There's a lot of QSSs in this game. Sejuani and Zoe are making you pick it up and feel like it's good value. Because getting picked is probably the way that OpTic win this game, is they pick you off with an Ashe Arrow, they pick you off with a Zoe Bubble, ultimate from Sejuani, right? So you have to avoid all those. Don't get picked off. So 2 cleanses, 2 QSSs. They can put an arrow in the side lane to grab some farm, bring him back. It's kind of, they aren't built to 1-3-1. Arrow has the teleport, so he's the one who goes in the side lane.
Decent clear with Power of Evil here. If he can keep hitting that back line, even though Paddlestar doesn't clear as well as it used to, they manage. And it doesn't look like there's too much damage hitting up onto this mid turret now for 100 Thieves. Game stalling out slightly. Quite a bit we've seen Baron be a focus here. Both teams either just want to fight over a ward. It seems like 100 Thieves is pretty dedicated to cracking this last mid turret.
Yeah, and this is kind of the, I wouldn't call it the NA ram just yet. It's very close to it. But this is where you just have 3 people strong against each other. You play for side waves. And so Dokka's like threatening the bottom side right now, potentially looking to take that turret, which is incredibly low. But then also Ryu, who this composition is a little bit better suited to 1-3-1ing on the side of 100 Thieves. They can go ahead and play to Ryu, who can push up, stay there a little bit longer. But red buff, and looking for potentially another steal here. Oh, but look at that.
They give up somebody crush the turret here, and they might trade for mid, knowing that
turret
pressure. A hit onto Alphamu. Still has that Quicksilver back up from the last time, and it looks like they won't be able to get mid. Bot does fall in favor of OpTic. Still a 2,000 gold lead for 100 Thieves, and things kind of don't change too much with that. Just a bit of gold for maybe a core item if OpTic can get the chance to back here.
That was Cody-san, that was a retired Captain Jack there. That's where you start seeing things. He did QSS nothing at that point. You know, Aframu was the one who ended up eating that one. But you can't be too safe, I guess.
It's good, he used it. As long as there's not a second arrow to hit you, you're fine. You're just practicing for the next one.
Because like now, it's like QSSs are down. If you can hit Cody-san, nail him with an arrow here, then you'd be able to start off the fight. So Cody-san needs to avoid that. Aframu needs to stand in front of him and has the cleanse still available. So either Aframu or Ryu standing in front of him for the next, it's about 30 seconds-ish before that QSS comes back up.
I wonder if we use that time. You got Sleepy Trouble Bubble into an Ashe Arrow, into a Glacial Prison, kind of all perfect.
And then into another Sleepy Trouble Bubble.
Over 5 seconds, easy.
Yeah, I don't want to think about
crowd control. That's terrifying.
Even though Sejuani's got nerfed, I don't want to think about that either. Yeah, went down. It used to be 2 seconds. It used to be 2 seconds, but it's apparently too powerful.
2 seconds is a forever time in League of Legends. That's why you always get like Lulu's Whimsy, and you're like, I move forever. It's like 5 seconds. That's forever. 25 minutes on the clock. Actually, it has not felt like forever in this game. Just 3-3. These teams have slowly been testing each other and really haven't even gotten touches on the second-tier turrets in this game yet.
Yep, arrow's off on the side lane. Once again, farming. There's an arrow coming down with an Aframu corner pocket.
Ooh, blocked from the side. Oh, hook shot in. Doesn't decide to take any Hex Tech fight. as they stand strong for each team. A bit of a rotation from Someday on the right. Oh, quick drowsy onto Afro Moon. Now he has that Quicksilver up again. Glacial Fisher back. Optic Arrow is low from the fight with Ryu in the river. And it looks like they're going to try to fire back with the curtain call here. Is anything followed up on Acadian low? Devoured in by Big. Thrown to safety. Not looking good for Optic, though, as their health bars are getting shredded.
Yep, they're going to lose.
The rest of the map is falling.
Exactly, they're going to lose that bottom turret. They're also going to lose this mid turret off that.
A big burst of gold there for 100 Thieves. 4,000 gold lead now, coming up on 26 minutes. Who's first to back and who's fastest to get back to objectives?
Yeah, they got to make sure that they're back on the map in 30 seconds for that Ocean Drake. It's actually a good Drake to have in the mid game, especially against these two teams. If you can have a split pusher with an Ocean Drake, helps them out immensely. And something else to consider here is that Dokla went for the Ravenous Hydra. It's a Titanic Hydra for Someday. So Someday's team fight is going to be quite good. Dokla is pretty much committed to the split pushing. And then Someday also went for a Vampiric Scepter, which doesn't really always fit into the build. You can get Blade of the King and whatnot on Jax. But this is mostly for the split push just to make sure that he can duel Dokla, who has Vamp himself. So I actually really like that, just to pick it up and have it so you can match a little bit of the lifesteal.
Love to see a 1v1 between those two. We saw that lock-in of Jax some days back in week 3.
Oh, flank? Bringing Dokla, right?
Can do it again. Big, and yes, Dokla onto Aframu. He's the one who's been cleansing over and over, but he's still the target for the team with teleport cooldown for him. And the cleanse not able to be used. They finally get Aframu.
We are looking at Big making some great plays this game. He has 100% kill participation, the only person on the team to have that. And a lot of it is off the Abyssal Voyages. We saw them multiple times just be up top lane,
so
down
good.
mid. He's breaking the game open here with his shot calling and this Tom Kench. And they're rushing this Baron down. Can Anda get in, and it's a flank, both sides.
Someday can get a full 5-team stun if he heads in with the counter-strike up. Gets himself locked up for a moment as they try to get in. On cleansed out. It's going to be a smite from Acadian as OpTic turns for the fight. Ryu and Someday are looking for a front target, but they both have to fully commit. They have OpTic pinned in the pit. Spit him over the wall. It's not going to happen. He throws him up inside the pit. An arrow goes down. He lost his food. It's now going to be 3 down for OpTic. Acadian head towards mid as Dokla looks for solace in the same mid turret.
Yeah, and that was a 2-for-1 route there. Just eats your buddy. Big doesn't have flash. He's still guys like swapped out summoner spells right now. That's going to be, even though they get the Baron, that's going to be 100 Thieves. Get turrets, getting pressure, possibly an inhibitor.
Such quick fights. They're able to take down a few members of 100 Thieves here and there, but 100 Thieves always finding a way back into the heist to get their money back. Taking down top inhibitor. Still waiting on OpTic's side for 3 to respawn.
OpTic hesitated really hardcore there in that fight where they waited so long that Someday got to make the decision, kind of a freebie, to go and TP in. We'll see this one more time because that's kind of the big moment here. Is it's a 4v4, right? You see them coming in. Someday walks up and then Anda cleanses. There's the kill on the Baron. Someday running away here. Sorry, it wasn't Someday. It was Aframu is the one who comes in. That's the big thing. It's because it's a 3v4 here, but Aframu respawns, comes back in. It would have been a 4v3 in favor of OpTic, but they're just too afraid of Someday. They're too afraid of Ryu. And they allow him to even up the numbers. And they get the Ocean Drake, though. And remember, they still have 2 Barons active. One on Acadian. I believe the other one is on Dokla on the split push.
To say that Ocean Drake's helps as well for Dokla. Trying to get that split push going. Opposite sides now with Someday as it's focused bottom side and top side of the map. Dokla relieves the last bit of pressure and will find him back with his team. Unless they can hold this on the bot side of the map. It looks like he continues to push.
Yeah.
No, he comes back.
Yeah, he has to.
Yeah.
He has the Baron. He's got to go. Whether you're sacrificing waves to this Jax or trying to catch him out. Let's see. There's the ultimate. They're going to go on to Someday here.
Ryu and Aframu trying to get in range. Aframu can give him the resistances with W, but Someday makes it out. Glacial Fisher on the backside to Aframu. He's going to be the first focus again as Ryu almost close to getting a stick with the lick, and they're going to make it out on Realm Warp with the Abyssal Voyage on Tri-Brush. Not a good direction for the fight continued as OpTic are able to hold the base strong.
A good fight for them. Like you said, they get to get some of that time off of the fact the inhibitor is down. The Baron, though, it's not going to result in any pushes or turrets for OpTic. It's just defense now because of what happened in that fight. They're doing damage control off of the decision they had made earlier, and the game is going to be pretty much in the same state gold-wise when this Baron expires as it was before the Baron was on, except the only thing is that inhibitor top lane is down, so that's pressure advantage for 100 Thieves. You can see they go on to Someday. Dokla doesn't quite make contact with the E, but Someday is too far forward relative to his team. Can't get out immediately, and then Acadian throws the bola, hits Afromu kind of through everybody, threads the needle there, and then he gets the cleanse out of Ryu too.
It's just an Afromu kind of day for all of the ultimates.
Yeah, good party portal there from Ryu. Get everybody out.
OpTic, 5 seconds on the Baron buff. They'll take one last breath with that. Hope the next fight goes in their favor as well. Backs from Acadian and Dokla as they safely push the top side. They're going to meet back with the team here as the waves are crushing in for Someday on bot and in middle. Looks like they will try to split it here. They leave Power of Evil on the bot side.
Yeah.
Looks like they're kind of just trading each other out, like switching bases, covering for each other until they get the right formation and everyone out of base.
Ooh, minus 650 Baron power play. That thing is so close to just being exactly the same as it was before the Baron. But another big flank.
Cleanse there. Glacial Fissure instantly so they can't get the lick to stick. Afromu very close to Devour. Goes down before it even happens. And now Someday, a quick leap out of Glacial Prison keeps him safe. 100 Thieves doing a lot in defense right now as they retreat from OpTic Gaming.
And they just keep picking on Afromu. He's 0-3-1 right now. They keep engaging on him. Even though he has QSS, even though he's swapping to cleanse, they're still just going in. But honestly, Big is doing an incredible job this game of keeping OpTic proactive when they're behind. This Tahm Kench pick that they got after the Braum was the first pick here is 100% KP, and he's doing work. He is delivering the right people to the backline. He is ulting to the right places. And he's keeping OpTic in it.
Oof. Realm we're very close to being able to lock down one of two members in Dokla or Acadian. And coming out of Champion Select, I kind of mentioned it, the Tahm Kench plays kind of even across Academy to now have just been so aggressive and great in the confidence they use. Usually it's, oh, we're chasing a fight. No, the fight's starting, let's get there. And it's been awesome to see.
And even with the ultimate there from Afromu, Dokla able to slide right in, gets the damage off, and they're able to blow him up. And Big is keeping OpTic's playoff hopes alive right now with those plays.
A very big voice from that bottom lane we've heard for so many seasons. It's definitely going to help coming into these stressful moments. Remember, OpTic brings himself to 9-9, which then definitely gives them the chance to kind of control their own destiny, but it's up to the rest of the teams after that.
Yeah, but still, it's a huge improvement for OpTic off of last split, or the bottom of the table, right? Looking at 9th place. Second to last, and they made a few changes. They come in, and now they're vying for a playoff spot. They're very close to doing so. Today is a huge day for them because yesterday fell a little short against TSM, and like Zabutin, their coach, was saying, there was pressure on them then. Pressure is a bit relieved because now they feel like it's not in their hands. They just have to take care of business and sit back and watch the rest of the day. But they still got to take care of step one.
Yeah, the most of it that was in their hands, too, for these past 2 weeks, we've mentioned as the hardest schedule lineup that any team had to play. So these guys have really been chomping at the bit to find that playoff spot. They have been tested.
Yeah, they had the hardest 4 remaining games to play out of any team. And the fact that they beat Echo Fox, they lost to Liquid and TSM, they lose to 100 Thieves, it's almost like an expected outcome
It's another finals
of
team.
3-1 or 1-3. If they go 2-2 in that schedule, though, that's kind of the upset there for OpTic, where they were poised to maybe go 3-1 on it. That wasn't gonna happen. That wasn't what ended up happening. And now, see what move they make here. I'm just watching Big on the minimap all the time now. I don't know when he's gonna go in.
He wanted to root him. He's like, just a little bit of damage.
Yeah, they got to back and take care of that bottom wave that Someday keeps pushing in. Someday actually provides so much pressure for his team. It's not always incredibly visible, but oh, the Raptors, come on! Afromu, friend of the farm. And even the chickens hate Zoe. Oh man,
I can see that. 100 Thieves as well, a team that made changes throughout the split, and one that was able to keep the top standing. A lot of teams have found that changes needed to be made, and there's turmoil in that. We saw 100 Thieves finals last split. Looks like they're going to be able to put themselves in a position for such again, even with the change.
Yeah, this is super good. They have a split pusher that has so much lifesteal that they can actually solo this. No. Leave Dokla alone.
Don't touch that alteration. Show them.
They got to keep everybody away. You got to keep Anda out of it. They're going to get it before he even gets there. There's no chance of a steal.
Oh, you almost a chance of a steal as the curtain was called, but they're exiting now stage right. They need to get the hell out of there. OpTic's going to turn on this fight. Abyss of Voyage goes in with the Glacial Fissure, and 100 Thieves is looking to turn this one around. Someday starts going ham on the back line. Almost find 2 kills. Big is skirting himself out with a sliver of health.
He's got
the round warp comes in, and it looks like they'll be able to get themselves now into at least a 3v4 they can look at. Big has to back. And we also see Dokla getting hit on a ward. He gets stopped. As 100 Thieves stops the back, they're gonna look for Baron.
Yeah, and that fight was so hectic. Sure, they got the Elder Dragon. OpTic, though, they lose 2. They lose their smite. Someday's the one that drops in return, and that's better for 100 Thieves. They have their smite up, and if this goes long enough, the TP is a threat. Dokla and Power of Evil have to do work. There's the TP from Big. He's gonna try to get in here with the Summoner Spellbook.
3,100 on the Baron after it's low, and he's quite near Baron. Smited down by Anda. The fight continues.
Put Anda in there.
Low. Everybody's low on 100 Thieves, and OpTic dives in. Graves down. Tony's Sun falls. The double kill coming in for Power of Evil as OpTic cleans up 100 Thieves after Baron.
Dokla goes nuts with the help of Big, and they are still alive in this. OpTic, they get the Baron off of everybody.
That's huge.
And then they're able to push this down with the Elder Dragon.
Absolutely ridiculous. The hit for Elder Dragon to be uncontested as well from 100 Thieves kind of blows my mind because OpTic has such a surge in power now. 12 to 8, 38
they might
minutes
end
in,
right
they're
here.
breaking the base.
They have to tank these turrets. Someday has to pull off a miracle for the first round bye.
He's gonna try to do it on the Jax, a 4v1 situation. Tries to deny
got the wave.
it.
He got the minion
That
wave.
means the turrets are going to be stronger with defenses. The new wave comes in as Arrow tanks a few, and he could be a target to take down. Afra moves up with 4 seconds onto Cody's Sun. Turret 1 is down. Turret 2 in favor of OpTic Gaming. They control their destiny, and they still look for a playoff spot.
OpTic are still alive in the running for top 6. The high-pressure games, those ending calls, the voice that cuts through, don't care. PoE and Big making insane plays at the end there. And you got to give credit to the whole team across the board.
Romain has chills on stage, so proud of his team, and you can see even some of the OpTic members are covering their mouths like, that just happened, that's what we needed. And it looks like even to them, they pulled out a little something extra that even surprised themselves.
It was that magic, the green wall, standing tall.
Absolutely.
Because 100 Thieves, finalists from last split, looking that they were near the top of the standings the entire time, and they will not have a first round bye here. They are denied by OpTic Gaming.
Absolutely.
Who end the regular season just 1 win behind 100 Thieves.
And we heard from Zabutin himself coming in strong today. It felt like the team brought that right into the game. For more on that win, let's send it over to Avali and Power of Evil.
Thanks, guys. Power of Evil, you guys did it. You pulled it off when the pressure was high. This game was incredibly important. What was going through your head? What was going through the comms during this entire game?
Well, I think we were all really in chaos, I think, since they had really good 1-3-1, but Big had a really good idea, which is just always putting the Kamal into the time controlled and just engaging. So we said, don't play a vision game, just engage them whenever we can. Don't play the macro, just engage. And it was, I don't know, I'm still, my heart is still beating, and I'm still wondering if we actually won that game.
Well, it was an incredibly important game, so you guys needed to win this in order to stay in playoffs. So how did you guys handle the pressure coming into today?
I think there was way less pressure on us since it's not in our fate anymore, since we can't decide if we go to playoffs anymore. But I told the team before the game that I'm not doubting that we go to playoffs since Featherfin got me or Pobelta. I'm pretty sure they're going to get me there.
That's so sweet. Well, how are you expecting the rest of the day to play out since, like you said, it's no longer in your hands?
Well, so we're just going to stay in the practice room, probably talk about the game, maybe practice, stay warmed up. and we are going to cheer for CG and Team Liquid.
Well, I'm wishing you the best of luck. Congratulations again. And for more on the game, let's hear from the State Farm analyst desk.
Thank you very much, Avali. You saw some energy coming out of the OpTic Gaming camp there at the end of that one, bringing it back from a disastrous level 1 to keep their playoff hopes alive.
This
Break
is a big
out
fold.
them foldy sheets.
Already folded.
This is a massive fold.
This is I mean, every fold is half technically, but this is
No, but this was...
Since I folded already, and you guys are playing catch-up, I'll let you know what this means.
Okay, go
ahead. This
ahead.
means that the winner of FlyQuest C9 later get a playoff bye, and that now half of our remaining scenarios are 3 or 4 tiebreaker games.
Exactly. We are... And if you consider that that is largely determined by the next game, or not the next game, but Echo Fox versus Clutch Gaming.
Which is game 3.
Which
and
is
if
a pretty
Fox wins,
lopsided matchup.
then we have 3 or 4 tiebreaker
We have 3 or 4. That means we're playing on Monday, if that's the case. But I want to get into this game because the way it started, man, we were ready to send OpTic to the grave with this level 1.
Yeah, I mean, this is just this is different champions than we've seen a little bit out of, and we didn't get the counter pick top like we were saying we wanted. The Dokla obviously plays Camille well, but this is just such a disastrous start with PoE losing his flash and dying, not getting any summoners back in their advantage. And then, you know, he didn't look great on the Zoe. He got repeat ganked again right after his flash came up. They lost it and died again.
Exactly. After that happened, both lanes were losing. They were down in gold.
They were down 3.5K
It felt like
gold.
the TSM game from yesterday where they were just going to be inactive. But then I actually feel like they kind of had a sense of desperation, but it was a very positive outcome. They actually had a failed dive bottom lane of the plays they tried to make, but they just kept swinging. They brought the Tom Kench Ashe top lane multiple times. Big had a good game with Arrow, and also they kept going straight to Dokla, and whoever gets the priority in that Jax vs. Camille matchup has a huge edge.
And part of that's the draft. Like, they had a lot more tools this time around. Like, yes, you had Varus, which can do it as well, but Ashe's range is a little bit longer. You have the Tom Kench instead of the Zillion. Still can be defensive, but has better proactive playmaking. And I think that's a big reason it also worked out, as well as having a Cadian on that Sejuani pick.
Yeah, very much so. Lots of engaged tools. I want to jump ahead to 28-minute fight. This one in favor of 100 Thieves. 3 for 1 at the Baron while OpTic picks it up.
Yeah, and this was a pattern from OpTic as well where they were not willing to just rush objectives. They killed Aphromoo, they say it's a 4v5, go. Doesn't matter if it's going to be a 50-50 afterwards, and this is a huge risk. But what it did is, even though they died, it took Baron off the board, which is going to allow them to have more opportunities in the future.
And this is where one of those plays where you can tell they're just looking to make stuff happen because you pick the enemy support. That's not that big of a deal in terms of baiting around Baron at 28 minutes into the game where you're still not ready to, like, Baron still does damage to you.
Right.
So you could see that they were playing how they wanted to play yesterday with that pump-up siege by Acadian about playing loose, having fun. That definitely looked like a fun game for some of these guys.
Right. At that point, they're right back in the game, but it would still take a couple fights for them to ultimately win it. So we're going to dive into the 36-minute fight where Someday, I mean, again, huge play by Someday to be keeping 100 Thieves in the game after these big picks by OpTic.
In the Raptor pit. Then watch this, he just
boom,
jumps, flashes, and one-shots him.
That was gorgeous.
It was amazing.
You know, there's still a lot of Fed members on the side of OpTic from here on, but, you know, it's 4v3 with a low big, but the teleport comes in, and then watch this. Power of Evil, I don't think, lands a skill shot, and this is mostly Dokla running around and messing people up. He gets all the kills with the Elder buff burn, finishing people
Zoe got
off.
a double kill. I don't think Zoe did anything. Zoe double kill. Just
I said didn't land a skill shot. I'm pretty sure if you watched that,
she didn't do a ton there as compared to Camille. But
to the Someday point, like, he almost saved that game for them, even though they had the gold lead the entire time. Every single play was being forced by OpTic. And whenever someone, even with a gold lead, keeps having plays made against them, it's hard to feel confident in the fact that they're going to win.
Initiative taken by OpTic, Someday holding 100 Thieves in it with a couple all-star plays. That's why he's in that conversation for MVP. But 100 Thieves been knocked down quite a bit here in the last 2 weeks, losing their last 3 games of the back half of the split here.
I mean, it was somewhat tough with a lot of playoff contending teams, but they should be beating TSM and they should be beating OpTic. And the fact that they lose those, Afro got picked on a lot this game, lots of Ashe arrows and Tom Kench ults on top of him. And then I felt like that might have gotten to him because they were not looking for many proactive plays after Braum started dying all the time.
Yeah, it's not a good look for 100 Thieves because honestly, even though they got a counter pick and I was like my win condition was a power pick and to play slow, they kind of did that. But then I would say OpTic played a lot faster than we have seen them play. and I do feel like that caught 100 Thieves off guard. And then Afromu, I think, had a pretty poor game. He brought Cleanse and QSS, but then was still dying a lot. So every once in a while, this used to happen more almost kind of a year ago, Afro would have one of these games where it seems like he's dying a lot. And as such a strong shot calling voice, it is hard to be a good shot caller while having those types of games. And I think that happened to 100 Thieves here.
And ending the season at 10-8, because there's a chance they still play tiebreakers from here. It's not necessarily the end of the season, but a lot of their wins early on were just someday hulking out. You have a 9-0-9 Aatrox game, a 12-0-3 Jax game, and those were times that they almost lost those games and someday had to make big plays to win them for them.
Right.
And if you look at their cumulative team wins when everyone has to be playing well, they actually don't have as many of those this split.
Yeah.
This could be a team that is weaker than their record even indicates at 10-8 because they're not ending the split well, and a lot of their early wins were
squeaked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that said, 100 Thieves still secure in the playoff picture. For OpTic Gaming, sitting at 9-9. You are either a very big Clutch Gaming fan here, hoping that they take down Echo Fox and actually give, with the head-to-head win over Echo Fox, you just get in, or you're a Team Liquid fan at the end of the day, not giving TSM the opportunity to move to 10 wins and knock you out.
OpTic is going to have so much energy for the rest of the day watching these games because they have to wait at least 4 more hours to maybe play a game for 6th place. So the dream scenario from a hype perspective is that they get to play TSM again for the playoff spot.
That would be so sweet. Mark, final point.
Yeah, just going to say that there are still only 2 situations that don't have any tiebreakers, but some of those are resolved by head-to-head. So OpTic is not in the worst spot. They did do a lot of work.
They've done what they needed to do
Yep.
at this point. So now they sit and wait. Time for us to step away. When we return, it's Counterlogic Gaming versus Golden Guardians. We'll be right back.
Power of Evil down to about 100 HP as they walk on. Zabutin saying they feel good coming in. They might feel bad coming out of a first level fight. Nova wants a hit, knowing under the turret he's going to draw that aggro. Teleports come in, the 1, the 2, the 3. Somedays forced to run. Anda and Ryu are both there. Cleanse comes in, he can't stay in the portal. Did he just get in? Oh, he ate it before he hit the portal.
I'm TPing, go, go, go. I'm following. Get fine. There, go. We're going Jin and get range. I got it. Let's go.
Turret 1 is down. Turret 2 in favor of OpTic Gaming. They control their destiny, and they still look for a playoff spot. Welcome back to Assist of the Week. During the first 3 minutes of Golden Guardians and Clutch Gaming, we saw both teams going head-to-head in a level 1 fight. Matt and Contracts kept whittling down Clutch Gaming's health pool, while Mickey and Deftly got into position. After Contracts charged into the enemy team for one last hit, Mickey and Deftly struck and took down 3 members of Clutch Gaming.
Matt now taken down to 100 as well.
No.
It's 3 kills for the Golden